Who's the mole in the Rangers team? Well, let's find out, let's break it down and discuss it. Welcome back to Big Stevie Cool 1872. We're actually on Fog Football though over here, it's me nonetheless. Barry Ferguson, he's commented on the mole. Has he gave us a name? No. But he says it's been going on for months, and we'll dive into his comments in a second. But who do I think the mole is? Right, well obviously it's not a nuclear, folks, right? Who's the mole that's breaking the news about starting 11s and all that good stuff? Honestly, I've no real idea, but if I was to hazard a guess, it'd be wrong to say names, wouldn't it? But it's probably one of these players that have been dropped over the course of last season, going into this season, and they've spat the dummy. Because realistically, it could be a whole host of people. It doesn't even necessarily need to be a player, man. It doesn't. It could literally be a coach, backroom, anybody on the training pitch, man. It could be anybody that's the mole. One thing I do know though, it needs to stop. You know, it was all sunshine and rainbows after the victory against Victoria Pilsen, but could you imagine a scenario where they beat us and it's like, oh, they sussed out Ant-Man, they sussed out Gazaman. Now thankfully for our sake they were actually brilliant, and you know, not even Maldini could have stopped those two. Well, potentially Maldini could have stopped those two. But anyway, you get my point. If our team on Tuesday got nullified, right, by the threat, or by the defence, sorry, of Victoria Pilsen, and our midfield got overran and we were getting pummeled defensively, question marks would be getting, you know, placed on this. Like, holy, who leaked the team? That gave them hours to focus on it. Now, the funny thing is, it looked like the Victoria Pilsen team had never defended before or had any tactics before in their puff because they were ranked rotten. But guess what? We made them that way. Alright? We made them that way. See this? Oh, they're the worst team I've ever seen. Patter. That's pish. Alright? How many teams have been labelled with that over the last couple of years? Oh, it's just because... Oh, Leipzig. Dortmund. Oh, they're all pish. They're shite. Nobody wants anything to do with them. No, no. Definitely not some top teams in Europe, man. They're ranked rotten. Make no mistake about it. They're absolute pish. Aye, sarcasm, folks. But anyway, it could be I don't know. But Barry Ferguson, I mean, he's leaked a few things to the media. You know, his wee pals over at Go Radio and all that kind of malarkey, man. So let's not pretend that Barry's clean in this department either. But this is what he actually said. And I quote, "Aye, quite early on Tuesday, like probably half of Scotland did, the leaked team news. I'm sure that's something we'll go into. It's disappointing. You hear rumours, you know what it's like, but the team selection that was flying about with all my mates, and obviously I get all the messages through, was spot on. It's baffling how these things get out. It's not just Rangers, by the way. I speak to other managers and other supporters of other clubs, and it's the same thing. But that's the disappointing thing. I don't know how it gets out or why it gets out. I honestly don't understand why somebody would feel the need to leak something before a massive game." End of quote. Here, it's happened a lot with Man United. Man United over the past... Man United for the past... ever since Sir Alex left, really, have been a basket case, but their 11s get leaked often, and it's not what you want, man. You want stability, and you want a team that's got each other's back, and giving out tactics and giving out the 11 is far from, you know, a happy camp. Obviously, someone's pissed off in some regard, and it's not what you want to see, man. It's really not. It needs wrapped on the head, and it needs sorted out. But as he points out, there is a lot. I mean, it's not just Rangers this will happen to, folks. I mean, you'll never get rid of this. I mean, yeah, internet helps, but this happened long before internet. You know, people, word of mouth, shit gets out. At the end of the day, now Ferguson goes on to reveal how his own preparations for his first game in charge at Rugby Park were undermined when rival boss Derek McInnes discovered the new man had made a key switch to tactics and formation before the Rangers team bus had even made it down the M77. He said, and I quote, "I was, and it was disappointing. Obviously, I got a message from a few of my mates saying, 'Is this your team?' I never replied to them, obviously, but it was spot on. Again, I was just baffled and disappointed as to why these things tend to get out. I was going different that game. It was my first game in charge and I wanted to mix up a bit. I went with two up top. I went with Hamza and Cyril because previously Rangers were predominantly a 4-3-3 team, or mostly under Philip Clement. So yes, it was disappointing, but you can't let those things that affect you. You need to park it and just get on with it. Thankfully we got the result that night, and thankfully on Tuesday Rangers steamrolled the Czechs." End of quote. Here. Totally agree with him. He did go on to say that the operation for finding the culprit is like looking for a needle in a haystack. That's the way I looked at it, and as I say, it's not just at Rangers, it's at loads of clubs. During my time as manager, and even previously, I'd speak to managers and they were in the same boat. End of quote. So yeah, it is like looking for a needle in a haystack, because you've got to get your facts in order before you start accusing people, man, because you don't know. You honestly don't have a clue how it's getting out. But like I said, one thing I do know, it needs to stop, because eventually it's going to get out way before. I mean, I'm not burying Victoria Pilsen here, but, you know, for example, let's say this was last season against Fenerbahce, right? And Jose Mourinho, you know, Jose. Let's say he gets a hold of these tactics in the starting 11 that Rangers were going to play. You try to tell me the special one wouldn't come up with a new game plan on how to stop it? I mean, he didn't stop it, but say he did, and the tactics got presented to him, and an 11 got presented to him. So it all matters on that, man. So, and that's why it can be crucial, because I mean, it depends. I mean, obviously, if you look at the game between Rangers and Kilmarnock last season, Kelly were absolutely battering us, man, in that game of football, and it had to get tweaked, and people had to get subbed off and all that stuff. So, yeah, it can obviously cost your team. But that's where we're going to leave it, guys. Later on tonight, 2 reviews. Dundee United and Hibs both playing in Europe. Massive, massive ties for both teams. Looking forward to it. Till next time, leave your thoughts down below, and peace.